Before the paper, I knew they would say, and I knew by the looks on their faces. Niggas mad cause I did what they wouldn't do, say what I couldn't do. Look, bitch, I made it, I made it. Came a long way from the basement. Fighting on me, I ain't playing, y'all. These niggas ain't playing fair. If I would've known better, I'd do better. Took some mess and I learned from a new level. Bought some new shovels and some new stressors, and I'm ready for war like whoever. They counted me out, I can't count it all. Cause little nigga, I ball. I put them points on the board every time that I shoot, I'ma score, and you know I'm a dog. I'm really appalled, don't need no applause. I know I'm a legend, my name on the wall. First record with platinum, my second with gold. Did it independent, no deal at all. And they said it's impossible. Got them high cause I did them without them though. I'm the same nigga, slept on the carpet floor. Even back then I knew that I be poppin', so I really ain't trippin'. I swear I ain't trippin'. I got in my feelings and got me a million. Couple people I thought would be with me, but they not, so it's fuck all them niggas. And then you next.
Hello world, what's good with everybody, man? Definitely had to come and chime in on this, man. We had if you ask me, I think we had a disastrous weekend from the DB3. I think we had a disastrous weekend from the DB3, but I believe we had a magnificent weekend from the Mason 5. Then we had a magnificent weekend from the Mason 5, man. With that being said, 817 checking in one time for the one time. Was good with you, Brody? Yes, indeed. Hello, world. Yeah, man. But this past weekend, man, getting straight to it. We had the good, the bad, and the ugly. Jimmy Bernard, what's good with you, man? What's going on? We had the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything, man. Jose Diaz, what's good, man? Everything is well, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. So, again, we had the good, the bad, and the ugly. Ooh-wee. I mean, things went left quick. Man. Listen, I'm gonna just put it out there on the floor. The good, starting with the good, because we always want to hear good news, man. We always want to hear good news. The good thing about what happened this past weekend is that Top Rank saved a lot of money. Because additionally, Keyshawn Davis, he was supposed to fight, and of course his fight was canceled, and based off the Virginia rules or with the commission, De Los Santos was still able to get paid, so he pretty much got a free check for someone being very, very irresponsible and not, taking the sport serious, and thought that he can get away with a free fight pretty much, and have the advantage, and he'd be a bigger guy and things of the nature. So it's a lot of things that we can say, man. It's really a lot of things we can say, but I think the biggest winner outside of Abudllah Mason, Joseph Townsend, what's good with you? Hello world. I think the biggest winner outside of Abudllah Mason is Top Rank. I mean, listen, they were supposed to pay Keyshawn Davis $1 million. So if you do the taxes, at the taxes, he probably taking home $800,000. Then of course, he got Jay Prince and people he got to pay. So he probably gonna look at 700,000, probably 5. But hey, Top Rank didn't have to pay it. You know what I'm saying? Top Rank didn't have to pay him. That was $1 million that they kept. Although they did have to, give back roughly around 2,000 tickets refunds because of the missed weight, right? But ultimately, Top Rank won. They got a chance to keep $1 million. So, Shawal, what's going on? What's going on, Mama? What's going on? So Top Rank, they scored. You know what I mean? They definitely scored. But you best believe they're gonna be looking. Hey, listen, I call this the Top Rank special. The Top Rank special. Yeah, they may be coincide with Keyshawn and things of that nature. And then at the same time, but we've seen Top Rank over the years. Once they feel like you've done them wrong or did them some type of way, You know the top ranked special coming next. You know they're gonna try to put him in there with somebody hard. You know that. Now I'll be surprised, right? I will be surprised if they don't. But I can bet my money that that's what Top Rank gonna do next. I can bet my money that's what Top Rank gonna do next. I mean, hey, true enough they gotta keep a million to themselves, but I think ultimately the whole thing was to have a celebratory of him coming back home to Virginia, Norfolk to be exact. Um, Him reaching out to his people, then of course the stars that Top Rank brought. Now we only speak about Bud, of course, and Allen Iverson, Michael Vick, but there was others who wanted to see him fight as well. I mean, people who live in Norfolk, they was telling me like, hey man, this is our sweet pea. I mean, this is our sweet pea. So he got next, and they're talking trash to me and things of that nature, which is fine because it's only boxing talk. But at the same time, you have to be more responsible than what you displayed. Um, he didn't try to make weight, number one. Now, people could say he tried to make weight. I don't believe that he tried. I mean, listen, I know the difference between when a fighter is cutting weight or they explicitly cut a lot of weight, where it could be draining and demanding. Um, you don't look as dry as others. I can tell, I of course I've cut weight. I've seen it with different fighters. I mean, listen, I've been in about 20, 30 championship camps. I've seen two different champions been made, and one champion getting ready to fight next week. And I see the difficulty in cutting weight, although he don't really have problems cutting weight, but I know what a person look like when they're cutting weight. The sinking in, the dense face, the density in the face, the density in the mass in the arms and body. Even in the mix section, you got, Keyshawn looked like he had a lot of water still right there in the mix section, right? And let alone I deal with the body, you know what I mean? So I don't think there's no way possible that anybody can tell me that he tried to make the weight. Now, listen, I will say this. If he did come in 2 pounds, 1.5 over, or even 3, then I would say, oh man, he tried to make the weight, he just can't make it. Then I would say that, right? But come on, man. This is crazy. That's crazy. 4.3 pounds, that's damn near almost 5 pounds. Well, you didn't even try. Then you say, hey, I tried to make the weight. I just knew I couldn't. I knew I wasn't gonna make the weight. That was so naive. Hot Tub Shalom was good with you. That was so naive and so stubborn to say, right? Even if that was the case, you don't say it like that, right? And you would think by being the businessman, so quote unquote, you call yourself, you would think that by being the businessman that you would acknowledge, okay, well, I got to be the businessman right here. I got to think about what I'm gonna say and how I'm gonna say it, because if it come out the wrong way, it's gonna rub not just my fan base, not just my city, not just my family, not just my peers, but it's gonna rub the whole country the wrong way, and that's absolutely what it did. I mean, you got people who was Keyshawn Davis fans, or people who was just now coming around, gaining interest towards you being a fighter. The charisma, the different interviews that you was putting together was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing that you put together leading up to this fight. But because the brashness and of course the if you ask me, more like disrespect and arrogancy, you know what I mean? Like that was more arrogant. And then what I find crazy about it is this, right? They always say fighters change once they get the belt. They always say that. The mentality of a fighter changes once they get the belt. Some for the greater good and some for the worse. As I started looking through emails, uh, um, as I not look through emails, but as I look through different videos, because I sat on this one channel yesterday. I didn't say anything, but I was listening to him, and I heard everything that he was saying. And I said, damn, I really didn't see that because, of course, I'm engaging into what Keyshawn is saying, not thinking that this would even come up. But when I look back at it, there was a lot of different arrogancy in the interviews that he was doing. This person said that he can see the change. And I was like, damn, I didn't even look at it like that, you know? You say hot tub. It's hotel. My bad, bro. My bad. You know, it's just a South thing. Andrew Charles said Key will bounce back from this. He's gonna drag through the mud, but he will bounce back. I mean, that's if okay. I can agree with that to a certain extent. I do think that he's a good fighter. I don't think he's a great fighter. Neither do I think he's a phenomenal fighter. And I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. But I agree. Maybe 25% of that. That's if Top Rank don't give him the top rank special next. Everybody knows what happened when you go against what Top Rank do. Everybody knows. Everybody knows what happens when you go against Top Rank. Everybody knows you get the Top Rank special. You get the Top Rank special. It just happens. My guy Mark Nash, what's up, brother? He said I agree with Tay. He was arrogant. He just assumed it would take 20%. Yeah, he thought he was just take the 20% of his fee because Abudllah Santos, of course, haven't fought in 2 years. Of course, he probably got some medical bills backed up from having a blood clot in his leg. You know what I'm saying? He wants some bread. But hey, I ain't mad at De Los Santos. If I can get me a free check and I ain't got oh man, I'm finna take that. But here's the thing, man. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm happy that I didn't gain much interest in Keyshawn, but I'm just happy that I didn't just go, full fledged and say, "Oh man, Keyshawn this, Keyshawn that," like I've seen other people do, right? But he did grow on me. But then again, after sitting and watching this person yesterday, this channel, and he was breaking it down, and they did a marvelous job breaking it down. I didn't look at it how he looked at it, and even in the interviews, I can definitely see the disparity of him changing because he's now a champion. Right now, I'm not gonna sit here and say that you don't have to be, at like your shit don't stink or this isn't the third, but it's a way that you do it. You know what I'm saying? You got the aura, you got the charisma, in which I thought he had, but when I started listening more and more and more, it made sense. I listened to him. He was saying that he offered Andy Cruz some money, but my whole thing was this: if you offer Andy Cruz and you say up front, "Oh well, his people said he wasn't ready," got it. But then in the same sentence, you turn right to a 21-year-old Abudllah Mason trying to construct the fight. But in the back of your head, you knew it wasn't going to happen anyway because you knew you was going up. So that didn't mean that whole little thing right there, that didn't make sense to me. Why would you say on TV, well, on the interview with what's his name, Andre Ward, you blatantly said that you guys sent Andy Cruz a contract, but his team said he wasn't ready. Oh, I didn't talk to the fighter because he gonna say he didn't send me a contract, but I talked to his team. But then you sit right next to a 21-year-old You sitting right next to a 21-year older, and you're trying to push a fight right then and there, but in the back of your head, you already know you're going up. So, and I'm looking at it like, not only did you try to make a fight with Abudllah Mason, but you said that you sent a contract over to Andy Cruz, but in the back of your head, you knew you was going up. So which one is it? Was it just for the cameras, or was it just a good thing to say? You know, and then I also heard him say something like, he understands Tank, this, and the third. Now, look, like I said before, many people who've talked to me off the air, I won't never say anything bad out the way for Tank. Do I want him to fight his I guess you the people get the three kings or more of the three kings that people call it between T.O., Devin, and Ryan, right? Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see those. But how he move is how he's moving. There's different people who move differently as well. Like one of my favorite fighters is Leo Santa Cruz. He's moved different as well. You know what I'm saying? But I also think that, it just depends on, quote unquote black fighters. But black fighters not the only one who's doing what Tank is doing either. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, well, if we're gonna talk about Tank, we might as well talk about all these other guys because they're doing it too. You know what I mean? So and not like I say, Leo, one of my favorite fighters, and shit, he did it for years. He was picking and choosing who he was gonna fight, whether we liked it or not. Of course, he was one of Al good guys. So of course, Al kept him in good graces. Fought on all the Mayweather undercards, got the chance to fight who he wanted to fight. So yeah, but he did it too. He did this, he's doing the same shit. Well, he did the same shit Tank doing. But I'm saying all that to say this. I didn't like that Keyshawn said that because I actually thought that Keyshawn was one who wanted smoke with everybody. That's what I thought. But hearing him say that, it was like, and I didn't think about it at the time. Like I said before, I'm going, leading up to the fights, I look at everybody's stuff. I look at what everybody's saying. I look at all the interviews. I look at all the videos. And I just make reminders. A17 said he blackballed his damn self. Yeah, he did. So he got a check without throwing out a punch. Absolutely, he did. They never offered Andy any money. Yeah, and what's crazy about that, I actually know somebody who's in Bozy Ennis camp, or who's trained by Bozy Ennis, and they told me the same thing, that never happened. That part never happened. Look, hey, what's good? Say he ain't that guy. He limited. Oh, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. We definitely gonna get there. We definitely gonna get there. Sneer Marie, what's going on with you? She say, you're not saying nothing wrong. Tell you, a lot of guys wish they were in Keyshawn position. Oh, absolutely. Not many fighters wish they was in Keyshawn position. Adam said, if I'm De Los Santos, I move to 140 and call out Keyshawn again. We're gonna get there because I got my own theory of what I think would really happen. He said he thought he was being smart. I hate to say it, but I'm a Keyshawn fan. But De Los Santos would beat Keyshawn. Ooh, now hey, I'm gonna get there too. He said De Los Santos got great hand speed, huge power, and he's a great counterpuncher, underrated ass fighter. Now here's my thing right there though, Adam. I'm not gonna say that. I've never been a De Los Santos fan. But he did take me by surprise when he beat Rayo. Of course, Rayo was up and coming. I guess you could say. Well, at that time, I guess he just had moved from being one of the pivotal parts as one of those youngsters coming into Contender Series or Contender ship when he fought De Los Santos. Now, the only thing about that is, I just thought that moment for De Los Santos was respectful for him. You know, I think that was I respect what he did, right? But at the same time, I think that was just he was at the right place at the right time type of thing. What I mean by that is, listen, he was a late replacement. I think he was like a 3-4 day late replacement. Rayo just had went through a whole 8-week camp. This I know for sure because he was in camp with David Benavidez. So by him being in camp with David Benavidez, of course, Benavidez Senior, he gonna make sure that his fighter's in shape. He gonna make sure that his fighter has everything that they need because, of course, they got to keep up their name over there at the Benavidez camp. So he went through a whole camp getting ready for an orthodox fighter. 8-week camp getting ready for an orthodox fighter. De Los Santos came in, and luckily he got in and he did what he did. You know, he went down in the fight. Rayo went down twice. You know what I mean? So again, it was a good fight, but I get it. People gonna say, well, he's a professional. You're supposed to be prepared for anything. I get that, but when you have this opponent, you know ahead of time. You do an 8-week camp. And then 3-4 days before the fight, you throw in the southpaw. Totally changed the whole game. Same thing they tried to do with Abudllah Mason this past weekend. They kind of slid it in on the broadcast and say, well, you know, Abudllah Mason, he was given the chance to fight De Los Santos for the belt, but his dad said no. Wait a minute. But y'all got to tell the full story. And that's one thing I didn't like that Top Rank did. I think that was the bad part that I was going to talk about. That's the bad part that Top Rank did because, again, here it is. You had Keyshawn, who was supposed to be the main event. And then Abudllah Mason, I think he was the co-main event, right? And you're supposed to be talking this up. But to the viewers, and I think that's what they did. To the viewers, they wanted to say, well, we tried to give De Los Santos a spot on the card because he could have fought Abudllah Mason. Abudllah Mason just went through a whole nother camp himself, preparing for Jeremiah Nakathalia, who does have legitimate power, who is an Orthodox, right? But then now, because what happened with Keyshawn fiasco, y'all want him to fight De Los Santos to save, pretty much save face and have him fight so he just won't get a free check. No. You're not going to do my son. You're not going to do my boy like that. What we're going to do is get ready for this guy who we got ready for the 6 weeks for. We knew what we were doing. We got the game plan and everything. We ready to go. We know we focus on Nakathalia. Don't come try to put us up because Keyshawn messed up. We don't want to save y'all. We're going to save y'all by beating Nakathalia ass and we're going to keep going forward. So I think that was the bad part, right? I think that was the bad part. I think a lot of people missed that was said on the air as well. I think a lot of people missed that because I haven't heard nobody talk about that. Excuse me, my phone going off over here. My brother crazy, man. So I haven't heard nobody talk about that. Like I said before, I go to a lot of different channels. I may not even say nothing. I might just be listening, fall asleep, whatever the case may be, right? Drew Tight in the building, yo. He said when he knew he couldn't make that weight, yeah, he knew. He knew that. Now that's a trick bag on Mason. Well, of course. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a trick bag because put it like this: someone else who was on the card, Tiger Johnson might have only had 1 or 2 easy fights the whole entire last 3-4 years he been with Top Rank. And he's not even ranked in no organization bodies. And I think Tiger Johnson is like, 15, 16-0 now. He's not even ranked in no organization bodies. But Abudllah Mason just had 16, 17 fights. He's ranked number 2, number 1 now. So it's not a trick bag. It's just that they wanted to save face and not just pay the man because of the Virginia Commission rules. They just wanted him to fight. They wanted him to fight. They didn't just want to boom, give me some free money. You know, they didn't want to give him some free money. But I do think that Tiger Johnson is going to be ranked after this fight. I think Tiger Johnson got a hard fight coming up, a very hard fight coming up. I think Tiger Johnson got a very hard fight coming up, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. Yeah, so that's my bad part, you know. I got there to a little early about the bad part because I haven't heard nobody talk about that or say that. But for Top Rank to try to put De Los Santos on Abudllah Mason, I don't think that was right. I don't think that it even should have been said, or for them to even try to say well, we tried. No, I don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear that. Clean up y'all mess over there with Keyshawn. That's what y'all do, right? Now, of course, Keon fought, you know, and I like Keon. That was actually my first time seeing the fight, you know. Salute to him. Kelvin. I caught, well, I'm not gonna say I caught wind of Kelvin. I've been to who he was. I've seen him fight. He has now. What I will say, he has had a couple of good performances where I was like, damn, okay, he's not that bad. And then there's been some performances I was like, yeah, he got a lot to clean up, got a lot to work on. But I knew that this fight with Nair Albright, because I betted on Nair Albright plus 190 underdog. I knew then. I said, man, listen, we're talking about Nair Albright when everybody at this time was talking about Keyshawn Davis. Nair Albright took him the distance. If you ask me, if you go back and look at that fight, and Keyshawn got a majority decision before they called it a no contest because of the popping for weed. It was a no contest. I mean, not a go. It was a majority decision. There was a lot of rounds that I gave Nair Albright. It was a lot of rounds that I gave Nair Albright. So then I'm looking like, and Kelvin fighting him. Now, here's the mistake that I think they made. They thought that Nair Albright hasn't been active. Many people say, well, he ain't fought in 2 years. That's a lie. That's a lie. See, I don't just watch the fights that's going on now. I watch Team Combat League as well. My trainer used to be over Team Combat League here in Georgia. Nair Albright has been fighting in Team Combat League. Yeah, it's only one round, but you're staying what? You're staying sharp. You're staying in the gym because you got to make weight for Team Combat League. You got to make sure that you're coming out blazing because you only get one round to prove that you're doing what you do, right? So that's first off how they drop the ball. A homecoming fight, if you're not a world champion, listen, it don't need to be a tough fight. If you're not a world champion, it don't need to be a tough fight or somebody worth, paying. You're having a homecoming fight. I don't think that was stylistically a good matchup for Kelvin for a homecoming fight. I don't think it was a good matchup stylistically, even though. Yes, you got Bomac. And Bomac, I got to give credit to Bomac because Bomac was giving him discreet instructions in the corner. And everything that he was saying, that's all he had to do was apply it. First, second round, he was a little too stiff up there. He wasn't, boom, checking, moving out the way. He wasn't fainting and doing anything. It was just head was on the line. He got caught with the overhand right about 3-4 times. He really didn't just from the overhand right until like the 5th, 6th round. Hell, that's half the fight right there. So Shawasa, y'all heard Kevin picked him too. Big mistake. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because again, I don't think Kelvin is nowhere near what's his name? Keyshawn. And I don't think that Keyshawn is where everybody puts him. Now, Keyshawn, and this where I was saying that I was going to come back to, what's my guy name? I said I was going to come back to him, Andrew Charles. And that's why I said I only agree with that a little bit. But here's the thing. Because when you sit right next to Abudllah Mason, you wanted to call him out. Now, here's the thing about that. If you go look at Abudllah Mason resume and you go look at Keyshawn Davis resume, their resumes looks about the same. There's no difference from Keyshawn Davis resume and Abudllah Mason resume. Because people are going to say, well, okay, outside of Nair Albright, who took him to majority decision, right? Before the no contest. People are going to give you, oh, he fought Pedraza. He stopped Pedraza. Whoa. Wait a minute. We're talking about the Pedraza who pretty much went up to 140, and I think he had a fight at 47, and they drained him all the way back down to 35. And Pedraza is not the same fighter that he was 10 years ago in 2015 when I was introduced to him on the co-main event of Deontay Wilder's first title defense. When he was champion, when Pedraza was champion then, that's not the same Pedraza. That's not the same Pedraza who fought Gervonta Tank Davis either. That's not the same Pedraza who fought Lomachenko. That Pedraza that he fought is no, that Pedraza that he fought then is not, that Pedraza ain't no better than Abudllah Mason's last opponent in Vegas on Brian Norman's card. What's that Brian Norman's card? No. It was after. My bad. My apologies. It was after. I think it was like the week after. That opponent, that Pedraza is no better than that guy right there that he fought last. And I think Abudllah Mason what 5-6 rounds with him. People would say, okay, well, you take somebody else. I think then he fight Artinian. Yeah, he fought Artinian. Artinian is no better than the guy who dropped Abudllah Mason. Can't make it up. I watched the fights. The only difference between the guy that Artinian and the guy who dropped Abudllah Mason is that the guy who dropped Abudllah Mason, he has a big amateur background pedigree, but he just wasn't in the Olympics. And I think as of now, he's not really taking boxing as serious as he should be. So I'm saying all that to say this. I just didn't think that, I never really thought too much of him because he only got 13 fights. And I want to see more, right? Yes, he beat Artinian. Yes, he beat Pedraza. Outside Nair Albright, name one guy on Abudllah Mason resume that's better than those guys that he's fought. It's really right here, neck and neck. So when I seen people saying, "Oh, Keyshawn gonna beat him," what makes you think that outside of the performances? Because they both have been having spectacular performances, but they fought right around the same type of opponents, for sure. And this is just me looking and digging in the information that's available for us. I mean, and a lot of those fights I saw. I mean, people are going to say Baranchik, but shit. Baranchik was probably the weakest champion in the last 40 years. Come on, man. Baranchi's style just matched up with Buddy. What's his name? The one who throw all the Navarrete. His style just matched up with Navarrete. That's all that was. That's all that was. So I don't, when people talk about Keyshawn, like I said before, I don't hate him or anything like that. I actually grew interest into him, but I did notice the change in him. And because they do say, a lot of champions do change once they get the belt. But I've always told this, and I tell Lil B this, I tell Deontay the same shit all the time. In fact, Deontay told me years ago, bro, it ain't about what you do to get the belts. It's about what you do to maintain and keep the belts. So ain't no reason to change and go on this rampage, this trade and boast and all brash, and it's no reason to do all that, because if you the man, you the man. If you the man, you the man. But it is okay to let your nuts hang a little bit. Yeah, for sure. It is okay to let your nuts hang a little bit. Talk a little shit, but there was just things that I wasn't noticing. That I'm like, damn, was it because I was gaining interest and I was just blind by the fact because this popped up, or is it that's really who it was? Yeah, because I literally just had seen Keyshawn and talked to him in Vegas. And he was chilled then. He was chilled then because we was talking about we got a common friend. Between each other. And I was like, bro, I would have never known you fuck with Avius. It might have fuck with Avius Griffin. And me and Avius Griffin was in the same gym in Tennessee. So yeah, we was talking about that. So I thought it was cool. You know what I mean? I thought it was cool, but I didn't see any difference then. But then again, like I said before, it could just be the TV. It could just be the lights, that lights, camera, action. It could be that, And I think that's a way for me to look at it as well. So I do agree with Andrew Charles. I do believe he'll bounce back to what extent? Because now he's going up to 40. Do I think he can be a Richard Hitchens? I don't know. The way he just squeezed himself out of the Raymond Moore-Taya fight, what he said about that as well. Did y'all miss what he said about the Raymond Moore-Taya fight? At first, he said that he didn't want to fight Moore-Taya because he got the IBF and he didn't want to go abide by those stipulations where you can't eat and weigh in and rehydrate. You got to go by that road. And an interviewer said, well, once you put those belts together, it trumps that rule. And he said, fuck it, I still don't want to fight him. What? Why ain't nobody want to smoke for Raymond Moore-Taya? I think he's good, but I don't think he's all that. I think that'd be interesting. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, that would be a tough fight for Keyshawn. It's a tough fight because Moore-Taya done fought some guys. So that's just the part that I was looking at, man. That's just the part I was looking at. So like I said, the good part about it is Top Rank saved a heap of lot of money. They saved $1 million. Tanim Marie said he totally dismissed him. He absolutely did. He just dismissed Edward De Los Santos as well. Now, what I think this is what I think that they were thinking. If you ask me, and this just is my opinion, I don't have to be right. I know it's gonna be somebody out there. Tay Jones said this and da 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 da. But Brent Fox was good with you. This is what I think. This is just my opinion. I think that they knew that De Los Santos was gonna come to fight. He was gonna come to win. He definitely has a puncher's chance. He's by far the best athlete or boxer that Keyshawn has been in the ring with. This is also a test. This is also a step up fight as well in your hometown and first title defense in your hometown. Now, Keyshawn said he probably couldn't have made weight based off his last fight with Brent Ranchik. But he wanted that title, so guess what he did? He went and made the weight. Gotcha. I just think that they knew they was in a competitive fight with these guys pretty much having the same attributes. Size, height, there's really no advantage. The only way that Keyshawn could have possibly got any type of advantage if you do what he did. I know this guy over here ain't fought in 2 years. I know this guy over here has something wrong with his leg or with a blood clot. So if I'm going up, I ain't even going to try to make the weight. I'm going to let him drain himself out and I'll be the strong and big guy. So that way I can rehydrate, feel good, and come in the ring the next day, pound on him. But it just didn't work out that way. Now, it could have, maybe if he was like 2.5, 3 pounds, probably would have worked. But when you look at De Los Santos, and there was this video floating around, and I saw it myself, he looked at fucking crazy in the eyes. A lot of times those guys look very, very weary in the eye portion, around the eye sockets. And that's what I saw. I saw him looking very, very weird. But I would say Samson, who's on the other side of the street, deals with a lot with PBC, did the right move. Got his guy paid, and let's get the fuck out of here. I don't think, I don't think he really looked good in his last 2. And he called Tevin a runner. He lost my support. Yeah, I mean, he would call Tevin a runner, but I seen Jose Zepeda get put down, and I saw Jose Zepeda pretty much got beat 2 different times, if you ask me. Shakur letting Keyshawn know De Los Santos cracking. That could be true too, but I thought they wasn't really messing with each other from, the disparity and the tweets that they had. I don't know, but, I don't conversate with them at all, so I wouldn't know. Adrian was good. He said, what Edwin said on press about the things you plan don't always come to fruition, it came true. Yeah, true that. So, that just got me right there, right? And I don't want to keep delving on it because I got to get to the other parts as well. So that was the good part, Top Rank saved. The bad part is Top Rank, pretty much tried to, paint. I'm not going to say paint Abudllah Mason in one way, but that kind of put a stain on Abudllah Mason, pretty much stating that, he didn't want to fight De Los Santos. He could be fighting for the belt tonight. I understand that. But as a father, his father said no. And if, because I am a father, but I don't have a son, but what I would have said, I probably would have done and said the same thing as well. No, man, why would we fight him when we got our guy, our opponent is here? This is who we train for. Nothing wrong with him. He can wait. If we win, we still gonna get a shot. So it don't matter. I agree. His face was gaunt, and he looked like he lost some muscle mass. Absolutely looked like he lost some muscle mass. I mean, he hadn't fought in 2 years. Listen. I just went through that shit last year, so I know. I just went through that shit last year, had taken 2 years off myself, so I know. The ugly. Let's get to the ugly. Because we had the good, the bad, and the ugly. The ugly, we all know, man. We all know what the ugly part is. We all know what the ugly part is. There was no class, no self-respect, no dignity, or anything of the nature shown by DB3. Because there was no way possible that was supposed to happen. There was no way that was supposed to happen. Nair Albright should be happy, celebratory in his victory, his hard-earned belt, and he was, of course, he was compensated good for the fight as well. But he shouldn't have to go through that, man. After the fight, if there was anything that was, that needed to be said or done, you seen Kelvin Davis and Nair Albright pretty much pound gloves and talk to each other, give each other hugs inside the ring. Now, I don't know what the hell was on Keyshawn's mind. I don't know what the hell was on Keon's mind either. But that Norfolk ghetto shit should never happen. Sometimes, man, listen, when you get to a different place in life, you gotta leave that hood ghetto shit alone. You gotta leave that hood ghetto shit alone. Now, look, man, I know how Norfolk get down. I done had some, some homies in college tell me all about VA. VA this, VA that. Cause you don't know about the city, cause I know all about it. Well, I haven't, haven't hung out there, but I know they tell me all the time. But man, when you get to a certain place in life, you're making $1 million on it, or was supposed to make $1 million on this fight. Who knows what you got paid for the last fight? Turkey bring you in for ambassador. All this different stuff that you got going on. You got Andre Ward in your corner. You got Bo Mack and Bud, one of the best trainers in the game right now. One of the all-time. He definitely gonna be an all-time great. He's definitely considered number one, number two pound for pound right now in Bud Crawford. But when you have those type of people, Michael Vick coming to see you, he's a head coach of a Norfolk State. Bubba Chuck, Allen Iverson, he coming to see you. They fucking with you. There's nowhere in hell you supposed to bring that Norfolk ghetto shit with you. You don't. No, I know the saying. You can take the people out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of them. I understand. People tell me all the time, but you sound hood. It's just the way I sound. But I promise you, I'm very clever. Boosie, he should have stayed home. Now you're gaining fan from me Saturday. Nah, for sure. For sure. But man, you leave that ghetto shit at the house, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part what I mean, like classless and integrity. I mean, that's a lawsuit, people. That's a lawsuit. Yeah, because you gotta understand, the man just went what it was, 10 rounds of getting punched in the fucking face. 6-ounce gloves, which pretty much feel like you really don't have nothing on your hands anyway. And now I come back to my dressing room and I'm getting hit upside my head again with no 6-ounce gloves on. Oh, well, fuck you too. I'm for the shoot. I'm suing you motherfuckers too. Because there, at the end, because you got to think, I just got done with a fight. I just got checked by the doctors. Thank God that I came out the fight safe. And now I got hit upside my head some more? Come on, man. Nah, that wasn't right. That wasn't right at all, man. That wasn't right at all. That wasn't supposed to happen. I know that tempers flare. I know that, what I'm saying, emotions can get the best of you, things of that nature. But the part that I'm more upset about is that the fact that Kelvin Davis, he came out and I guess he wrote a Facebook post or whatever the thing, the nature like that. He shouldn't have been the one writing anything. If anything or anybody should have been writing anything about it, should have been Keon and Keyshawn. Those are two people who should have been writing something about it. So I Kelvin did his thing in the ring. His hands talked for him. He lost the fight, which was a good fight because it got entertaining. Because it did get entertaining. Right? So the other two brothers should have did something, man. And then they go and introduce, or not introduce, but they go interview the Mason 5. They go introduce the Mason 5. Hey, they say, man, we don't get into all that stuff. We don't even, we don't even act like that. They just let me know one thing. They was raised the correct way. Pops even said, hey, man, I stay on them boards. It was the crazy part about it, even when they were here in Atlanta, because I sparred the oldest brother, the one with the beard. I sparred the oldest brother. Even after we sparred, man, we chopped it up, talking and everything else. But they pops was hard on them then. Yes, they're pretty much grown men. I know you still have the younger ones. They're still teenagers, but they also have two older brothers to look up to. They're not condoning that stuff, man. They're not condoning that stuff. I just feel like a night that I already had went sour because of missing weight just went to shit because of your ignorance. That's what I think. I do think that Keyshawn is better than that. I hope that he's better than that. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna watch his fights. I'm not gonna be no asshole to say that, but I wasn't even a big fan anyway. I just had started gaining interest. I don't know if I'm interested enough to even talk about his fights. I mean, I think everybody's going to watch because they want to see him at 140, right? Some people, some people probably on edge, don't want to, really engage with him anymore. I get it. I totally get it. But I think that night boxing as a community, came together and say, bro, that shit wasn't right. I think the boxing community as a whole, because people talked about it who I didn't even think had class talked about it. Or maybe they just talk about stuff that fits their narrative, quote unquote. But people who I never see agree with anything that I've said or others have said was agreeing with this as well. So it does let me know they have some type of integrity, but they may not have the other fucking 95% of it. But it was definitely some people who showed grace for sure. My brother Stephen Elder Mack in the building, man. You know you can have to, bro. Y'all know you don't got to do that, bro. I like coming on here. Just come on here, man. You know what I mean? But I appreciate you, brother. They moved them too disciplined. Oh, absolutely. Shit, they was practicing. They was praying while they was here. I mean, older brother say, "Oh, bro, hey, bro, I'm gonna get with you in a minute. I gotta go pray." He stopped me in mid conversation, bro. I gotta go to pray, bro. I gotta go pray. Man, but never like my guy say, man, the ego. My guy say the ego. Said the ego. Never let that ego get up here, man, because you can always be brought down to ground level. And you got some people out here who will bring you down to that level. Like, bro, you really ain't shit. You got some people who will do that to you. He said, yeah, I know I'm at work too, man. Hey, yo, yeah, you working that graveyard shift, boy. D-Man Jr., what's happening? What's good? So that's just my takeaway, man. Like I said before, I'm not gonna say I don't want to be too hard. I mean, because I'm nonchalant anyway when it comes to stuff like that. Hey, you gotta leave that nigga shit alone, man. Excuse my language, but you gotta leave it alone, man. You gotta leave that alone, man. Because you got the kid, you got your son right there. Man, listen. First of all, I would say this. Even with my oldest daughter, she know I loves boxing. She knew this shit. I think she was no more than a year and 3 months. Boxing. Ish. She even do the sounds. She know I love it. She know I go work out, but she will never see me acting fucking retarded. One reason why she would never see me act fucking retarded, because everybody who truly know me, they know that I'm gonna take it there. They know that I'm gonna take it there. And I mean, y'all know who my oldest brother is. I'm worse than him, and he'll tell you that. He'll tell you that. I'm gonna take it there. So she will never see that side of me. Then your mother right there. You gotta, you know, I'm not gonna say you gotta explain to your mother because she's right there, but at the same time, damn mom, control your sons. You see what I'm saying? Control your sons. Now she probably got to go to work or whatever it is she do, and her home girls and friends calling her, girl, what happened? Girl, your son's this and your son's. Now she got to hear that shit. She probably feel some type of way too. You know what I'm saying? Now if she don't, fine. But I'm just saying how I see it. You know what I mean? And she looked like a very respectable woman. The way she talks, the way she conduct herself, the way she talk, Keyshawn how to handle business. You know what I mean? And then last but not least, and Shawar took it right out my mouth, made the city feel away as well. Now I know Bubba Chuck, I call him Bubba Chuck because I personally know him, but Allen Iverson, right? He probably gonna sit the young brother down like, bro, the fuck is you doing? You can't. I know how Bubba Chuck gonna talk to him. I know how he gonna talk to him. You gonna let him, bro? You can't be doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Vic too. Now I've only met Vic two or three different times. The first time was very, 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 very funny though. I was fresh out of high school. Oh Lord, I was 2 weeks out of high school when I met Vic. That's another story for another day. But he gonna let you know some real shit, just like he let me know some real shit too. You know what I'm saying? That ain't how you represent. Cause Sweet Pea, one thing for sure, two things for certain, Sweet Pea ain't did no shit like that at home. And you can just tell how Keyshawn felt from the very first fight that he had at home. It was bigger than he even had imagined. It was bigger than what he had imagined. So they tied their image and support into that, Coach PJ too. Oh yeah, for sure. And that's what I wanted to get to. I wanted to get to Tiger Johnson because I actually got to get up in the morning with my daughters, take them to school. So, enough of the Keyshawn shit, man. I hope the young man and them they I hopefully they get right. Hopefully he get back on track. But I do got to feel him, moving up to 140, which is cool for him, right? But I do got to feel that top rank again. They always have that trick. That trick. Yeah, I call it the top rank special. So maybe that happens, maybe it don't. Who knows? I think someone asked me, Tamir Reed asked if you're gonna still work with Turkey. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. But I do know that he could get suspended as well, so he might have some additional time off. So we'll see. I haven't heard nothing, but I do know they're looking into it. From the last I heard, I haven't called nobody or anything because at this point, I mean, shit, whatever happens, happens. That's how I'm looking at it. It is. I mean, it was well deserved because that shit shouldn't have happened in the first place. You bringing that ghetto nigga shit here anyway, shouldn't never happen. But Tiger Johnson, man, I want to say this. I watched Tiger Johnson, and what's crazy is me and Coach PJ literally just had got off the phone. The fuck did that? But he posted something on Instagram tonight, and I had commented. You said what you were supposed to say, and that's that on that, right? I seen a lot of people after during the fight and after the fight was commenting saying that uh, he's too hard on him and this and the third whole. I'm like, listen, man. First of all, in the corner, I don't want no fucking. Now, Najee from Cigar Talk, he cool. I ain't got no problem with him, but he was saying some bullshit on Twitter. I'm just calling spade a spade. Man, you telling the man everything he doing wrong. What you gonna tell him what he doing right? Man, fuck what he doing right. I'm gonna tell you everything you doing wrong. I'm gonna tell you everything you doing wrong. And I'm just I couldn't wrap my hands around it. And I'm looking at the comments. I'm like, these gotta be some casual fucking fans. Gotta be. So you freezing up, fam? Yeah, oh man, I don't know what's wrong with this damn thing, man. Man, I don't know what that was. Yeah, I don't know what that. I don't know. Yeah, YouTube tripping, man. I don't know what that was, man. So apparently they don't listen to PJ on the regular. Yeah, PJ is one of the ones. PJ, like I say, when I first brought PJ on, it's been about 2 years now. When I first brought him on, because I remember PJ being here in Atlanta. That was the same day that Brian Norman sparred Bud, Little Africa, Richard Hitchens. He was here. Tiger Johnson was here. Bo Mac, Bud, Red, Coach Esau, all them was in the gym. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. PJ wasn't frustrated with him. See, here's the thing that people don't know about PJ. PJ, of course, he was a fighter himself. He was Tiger Johnson coach straight when Tiger Johnson left the Olympics from the amateurs. So he pretty much, I'm not gonna say made him, but he pretty much got the amateurish things out of Tiger Johnson. And like I said before, when I first taught Tiger Johnson, I was just like, he just came from the Olympics. What? But when I seen that PJ was his coach, and I seen like the first 2-3 fights, that's when I reached out to PJ like, hey man, I gotta let you know, bro. Whatever you doing with Tiger, bro, keep doing it because I seen the change. And I said, bro, I'm gonna tell you how I seen the change. Remember we was in the gym, such and such. I'm like, bro, that was my gym y'all came to. Yeah, I do remember you. So that's how me and PJ got cool and started talking. Then of course, they cool with Haven Brady, and I would see them at the OTX events and stuff like that. So the relationship just grew. Now we just call each other like, nigga, what you doing? You know what I mean? So, but I seen the progression in Tiger. I think that people don't understand PJ or what he's done for Tiger. I don't think people watch his progression. Now, if you go back at looking at majority of the top ranked shows, I would always say that top rank only give certain fighters hard fights. And at the time that I was saying that, I was saying the only people who was getting hard fights at the time was Tiger Johnson, Haven Brady, and the other kid who already lost. But he lost, and they gave him the top ranked special because he was running his fucking mouth. The kid from New York, I just forget his name that quick, right? But Tiger Johnson has excelled. What people don't say is this: Boba Chica is a fucking puncher. Not only is he a puncher, he got bricks for hands for both of his hands. He can hit you with the left or the right. Yeah, he did drop my boy Brian Norman on some dumb shit. But the boy can punch. The boy can punch. Oh, and it's gonna be fights like that where it's like, coach, I understand what you saying, but this motherfucker right here punching. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like that. And that's why I was looking at some of the tweets like, bro, do y'all really watch boxing? Because if you know that, you know Janelson Popachica is a fucking puncher. Yeah, Jahai Tucker, that's what I'm talking about. You know Bubba Chica is a puncher. So you just not, it looked like Tiger Johnson was making it easy, and he could have took it to Boba Chica in the later rounds, in which I thought so too. He did have some exciting rounds in there. A lot of people thought it was boring, and I heard Timothy Bradley say something about falling asleep. But Timothy Bradley really can't talk. He just be talking. Like we ain't gonna talk about bald head Tim. But PJ Wright. I think that, and PJ told me, he said, man, listen, he said, I know my guy. I know my guy was in there with a puncher. He said, but shit, I was a fighter too. I know he probably thinking the same shit that I would be thinking. Man, coach, I know what you saying, but the shit you want me to do, I might get caught with some shit, and I ain't trying to get caught with. So I get it. I get it. Absolutely, Tanae Marie. That's why he was hesitant. I mean, I knew that from just knowing who Bubba Chica is. You ain't just for the running there with no puncher. I don't give a damn who it is. You're not. If Timothy was working instead of letting the camera have letting them have camera on PJ the whole fight, he'd be busy commentating. That's right. That's true. That's true. But nah, man, Bubba Chica, man, listen, he's not on a Tiger Johnson level. But then again, you got to think, Bubba Chica was trying to come and win that fight because he's on a 3-fight losing streak or something like that, plus a no contest. Bubba Chica just lost to I forget his name. He just lost to the guy who Brian Norman beat out there in Vegas, beat the hell out of him. After everybody thought that guy was gonna be Brian Norman. What a fucking coincidence. But no, Bubba Chica, he definitely can punch. And I actually felt that Tiger Johnson did the smart thing. He didn't take everything that was instructed to him, but he took majority of everything that was instructed to him. Right? He really didn't want to engage too much into the jab because he didn't want to be off balance. I get that. That's a concern for a counter shot right hand. I know. Even when he got inside, he wanted to go ahead and get off, and you saw quickly how fast Tiger Johnson got the hell on because he know. Right? So shout out to PJ, man. Shout out to Coach Prentice. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get Coach Prentice on for everybody who was talking shit. I'm gonna have him on here. Fuck it. I'm gonna get him. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to get him tomorrow. I'm gonna hit PJ. Yeah, let me hit PJ right quick. Let me hit PJ right quick. Hold on. PJ. You know I called him. You know I called him. Coach Prentice. That what it say right there, Coach Prentice. Yeah, that's my guy. Just text him. Let's go live tomorrow. Yeah, let's go live tomorrow. But yeah, man, I did enjoy the card. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to talk about the guy, Megatron, call him Troy Isley. He did his thing, you know what I mean? Everything. It just that night could have been a beautiful night for all three brothers, or even if Kevin did lose, it still could have been a beautiful night. Thanks to Abudllah Mason, he saved the day. Once again, looked spectacular. Stopped Nakathalia. Now, Nakathalia done fought somebody else that Abudllah Mason could potentially be facing coming, not coming up, but in that 35-pound sector. Because now we can say who did it better, Shakur or Abdullah. No, now we can say who did it better. I mean, because by the looks of it, one, was criticized after that fight for saying it was a snooze fest. And one had his guy scream, bro, I ain't gonna say scream, but say no mas. He didn't want to come back out there. But if you look at that strong jab that Abdullah made, that's what caused the cut over that eye, that jab. Man, that jab was a thing of beauty. It was like he was whipping it. He was whipping it. But I think it really, I do think that Abudllah Mason was actually really getting ready to get busy in there. I actually thought fourth round, he probably would have been done for. I think once Abudllah Mason tasted the power of Nakathalia, I think once he tasted that power, he's like, oh, it ain't too much I can't handle. You start seeing him taking him on the wrist, kind of looking like, okay, shit. You see him do his head like, like, yeah, okay, come on. And he started digging into that body. I kind of knew, like, right then and there. I said, yeah, this fourth round, I think he finna go on and get Buddy up out of there. But it was stopped. You going to recap tomorrow? Well, I'm definitely going to pull up. I'm definitely pulling up. Sometime, man, I'll be getting people notifications. That should be crazy. Like, and I'm subscribed to a lot of people where I do have the bell icon on and everything, and I still don't get a notification. I literally have to open up the app to see that somebody online sometime, and that should be baffling. Yeah, he did. Man, but I'm gonna go ahead and kill it for the night, man. But look, man, I hope the Mason brothers, M5, Mason 5 continue to shine. I hope that Greg Carmichael, what's up with you, brother? He said just seen the notification. Damn, that's crazy. I hope the DB3, I hope they get their act together, man. You know what I'm saying? They can be bigger than what they displayed. They can be bigger than that, man. They just gotta show it. You know what I'm saying? They gotta show it. Sometimes you gotta be humbled and victimized and talked about badly before you kind of settle in like, damn, my shit do stink like everybody else. Sometimes it happens to the best of us, right? And Kelvin, I want Kelvin to keep going because I do think that Kelvin can be good. That's only a lesson learned right there. That's all it is. Now, a lot of people are going to write him off because of a loss. Why? I think that was a good fight by Kelvin. He fought back. That later half of the fight was all, I'm going to say all him, but pretty much of it was. He fought back. And that's all you can ask for in the fighter because he could have laid down in the first, second round, in the third round, and in the fifth round. Could have laid down. He could have laid down. No, man. We ain't going to do that. I'm going to lift the brother up. Now, I don't condone that dumb shit, but I'm going to lift him up, though. For sure. Because I do think he's a good fighter. I actually seen where Bomac was saying, you got to get in there, man. Your upper body too stiff. Not moving your feet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I rock with that, man. I think he's a long 40. He's a long 40. You gotta love. I love them long fighters. I know I love long fighters because I know how to get up under them. But I love them long fighters, boy. But man, look, man, I'm out. I'm getting ready to be I'm gonna try to bring Coach on tomorrow. He probably gonna text me back in the morning. Oh, he texted me back when? Oh, you give me a time. A time before 2:30 p.m. Because I got my daughters to myself tomorrow, so I'm definitely gonna have to do it early in the day, unless I do it at 9, unless after 9 p.m. Say he need to learn how to pump that jab. Yeah, he do, and he gonna it's learning tendencies. He gonna get better. Oh, you Shawad, just let me know what time you gonna go live, and I'll just do it later on at night. I'll probably do it around by like 9:30, 10 o'clock. My kids will be asleep by then, so we'll figure it out. But look, man, I appreciate everybody stopping through, man. It's just sad that a beautiful event was turned sideways. It was turned sour. And I expect more from them young guys, and I want more from them young guys. But with that being said, man, I'm out. Love, peace, happiness, and hello, world.
Before the paper, I knew they would say, and I knew by the looks on their faces. Niggas mad cause I did what they wouldn't do, say what I couldn't do. Look, bitch, I made it. I made it. Came a long way from the basement. Body on me, I ain't playing, y'all. These niggas ain't playing fair. If I would've known better, I'd do better. Took some mess and I learned from a new level. Bought some new shovels and some new stressors, and I'm ready for war like whoever. They counted me out, I can't count it all. Cause little nigga, I ball. I put them points on the board every time that I shoot, I'ma score, and you know I'm a dog. I'm really appalled, don't need no applause. I know I'm a legend, my name on the wall. First ranking with platinum, my second with gold. Did it independent, no deal at all. And they said it's impossible. Got them high cause I did them without them though. I'm the same nigga slept on the carpet floor. Even back then I knew that I'd be poppin', so I really ain't trippin'. I swear I ain't trippin'. I got in my feelings and got me a million. Couple people I thought would be with me, but they not, so it's fuck all them niggas. And then you next.